Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where in the world you're tuning in from, but it has to fit in one of those categories. Hey, I wanted to hop on real quick because we had a broadcast this morning where we had some issues we had some tech issues and our stream didn't go through on Facebook. So I wanted to stop back again and finish the part 3 of the Kickstart Profit Challenge. So who here is ready to generate some profits in your business? If you're ready, give me a hello, hi. If you're watching this on replay, still stop by and say hello. We'd like to know you were here. Our topic for today is building a one-page marketing plan. So if you're ready to launch and sell out in the shortest and the most effective way possible, give me a hello, hi, replay, and let's go over our one-page profit plan that's going to help us launch and sell out in the shortest and most efficient way possible. So I wanted to do a quick recap on what we've accomplished so far. On day 1, we talked about your why before your what. Because before we go to the market, let's get clear on the why, the beliefs and the morals and the big vision that we are going after, as opposed to the product that we are out to sell. The why is the one thing that will attract the right fit clients to you. We also talked about people don't buy what you have. People buy what you believe. People buy your belief. We even talked about the messaging, that the messaging needs to be inside out. It needs to be more about the beliefs and less about the features and the benefits of your product. And we did that by walking through the profit circle, which the what is the outer layer. But once we peel into the why, then we get to the core of why people buy, not because they don't buy the what, they don't buy the features and the benefits, they buy the belief, the mindset behind that. The third thing we talked about is getting comfortable with your numbers, knowing your profit numbers, knowing what you need to generate. So it's basically tying your emotion to the logic. You know you want to make these numbers, but you need to have messaging that resonates with your people. We also defined it's very important to have 3 different tiers for your offers. The level 1 entry level offer, having a core offer, and having a layer where you can upsell your customers to. So at least maintaining 3 layers for your offers and knowing your revenues, monthly, annual, what you really want to achieve as far as monthly revenue, how many sales do you need in order to achieve that, get familiar with the conversion rates you have and the number of people you need to reach out to in order to get those numbers that you're trying to achieve. So on day 2, we went deeper into your most valuable customer, and we talked a little bit about a way and a strategy where you can generate an entire internal desire in your customers to want the product that you have, as opposed to externally forcing sales to them. We also talked about crafting an irresistible offer such that your MVC gets attracted to the offer naturally, as opposed to, like we talked about, externally trying to forcefully sell it to them. We also talked about having a messaging built with 3 layers: the heart, the head, and credibility. So lead with emotion, justify with logic, and build some credibility behind your messaging so that you end up either on the credit card statement of your right fit client or on their vision board. So that's our ultimate goal. Now, today I want to emphasize and say that we all start with a vision. You know, human beings had a vision big enough that they wanted to climb Mount Everest or they wanted to land on the moon. And it all started with the vision. And then they laid out the plan, crafted a plan to make that happen. So I want you to think through what is the business vision that you have for yourself. And you do have this in your workbook. So if you downloaded a workbook, it is out there in there for you to fill out what is the vision you have for your business. In case you did not download the workbook and you want access to it, you can reach it at smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard. The dashboard has all the workbooks on it, as well as you can do it as an exercise on the dashboard where you can fill in that information and that information will be emailed back to you. So have an idea of the income that you want to generate and the impact you want to generate in this year. Now, on the dashboard and in the workbook, it also has a way to measure, to keep on measuring your success, if how you're doing in terms of your vision. Now, a little bit about the vision itself. I want it to be a stretch goal for you. I do not want it to be something that's very achievable. For example, if you've had no sale as of yet, then getting that first sale is a big vision. But if you've already had one sale, then going to two will be a little bit smaller vision, but let's say five or maybe 10, or automating something, have it a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit scarier, make it something that gets you out of your comfort zone, because that's very, very important. Now, once you have that vision, I want you to be on it like a GPS. Like, if you go off track, I want you to get yourself back on track. It's kind of like if you have a way to measure your success, then you're always going to stay on track. So I don't want you to measure how you're doing. If you're trying to aim for a monthly goal, I want you to have other segments or times that you measure, not at the end of the month only, because then if you're behind, you have no way to course correct. So we do want you to have some ideas of measuring where and how you're going to measure how you're doing in regards to this vision. So in your workbook, you do have this where you want to craft out, measure how you're going to make sure that you're staying in line. Whatever you're doing is taking you closer to your vision and not taking you on a tangent. So that's a really important task to do. Now let's talk about business. Business today is basically two things. It's innovation, coming up with constant new bright ideas to make your product bigger and better, or create and craft new products. And then having a sales and marketing that's strong enough to take those ideas to the market. So those are the oxygen or the fuel for any business, if you will, those two things. I'm not undermining and saying that you don't need other operational sides or the administration side or the fulfillment side, but I do think that these two are the core things that will move your business forward. Now, innovation is constantly improving. Be obsessed with improving your product based on your customer feedback. I would say be so obsessed that you hear anything that your customer mention is good or bad or needs to change, you are ready to jump on and implement that. Or if you even hear a customer voice out a desire, you're on it and you're trying to put that in your product or make it bigger and better. So that's innovation is very, very important. So in terms of innovation on your workbook, we do have a little segment there. It's called value you provide. So I want you to note down at least 3 to 5 things, value that you provide to your customers, to your end users. And then also figure out the value your competition provides. Why you want to do that is you want to differentiate yourselves from the values they provide. You want to stand out in the marketplace. You cannot just be another me too kind of a business. Oh, you do this, I do this too. But I want you to think through, oh, you do this, I do it a little bit differently. This is how I handle it. So I want you to think through and do that. So that if you do not have the workbook, you can absolutely go to smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard to download it, or do it online. We also have an online dashboard activity, so you can do it both ways. But I would highly encourage for you to take some time out, carve some time out, and map out this process for yourself. Now let's move on to sales. This is my favorite topic. I oftentimes think that people think, and let me know in the comments or chat if you're watching and you're reviewing this, what do you think sales is? And I get all these answers. It's basically a transaction. It's when a customer buys from you. It's the process of taking them to the buying journey. And all of those are true and correct. But I think the biggest thing I want to emphasize is sales is actually a process of conversation, because sales should be so seamless. Sales should happen as a process of conversation. It shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be enforced. Hey, look at me, buy this, buy this, buy this. It should be, what problems do you have? Oh, we have these products that really would solve your problem. Would you like to try it? Would you like to do this? So it should be more of a conversational flow. And figuring out a process where you can engage those sales into a conversation will be an amazing and excellent thing to do. Marketing, on the other hand, and again, I sometimes see people confused between marketing and sales to the side that they think one is the other or the other is the either. So marketing is a customer acquisition and nurturing process. And then it hands over as soon as the customer becomes desired in your product, they move it over to sales. But it is mainly the acquisition and the nurturing process. Now, I know our final goal is to get sales. Our final goal is to launch our product, a service, whatever we are out there to take to the marketplace and sell it in the shortest, most effective way. That's our main goal. But I do want to focus on that we should start with a goal of validating the idea first. Use the love model to validate the idea first before you really go out with your full-blown mega launch. So when I say validate the idea, on your workbook, in your workbook, you have a segment that talks about your MVP ideas. Your MVP ideas means your minimum viable product ideas on one side, and then using the love method. If you using the love method, we'll talk a little bit about the love method a little forward, to validate that idea. Basically, it's taking that idea to a focus group of clients and customers that you think would utilize this idea, and then trying to make sure that it's a valid idea that actually solves a problem for them. Now take 1, 2, or 3 products, evaluate them based on the love process, move forward with the one that really resonates with the market. And then you can do a bigger, better launch with that particular product. Now, in terms of sales, I wanted to share some of the biggest ahas that I have had. I feel like oftentimes we feel like people buy products. They don't buy products. People buy what you believe in. That's the biggest thing that they buy, not a product, not a service. They buy your belief in your product, your belief in your service. If you don't believe in yourself, it's very hard to sell someone else into that idea of that product. So it's very, very important for you to believe with absolute certainty whatever you're out there to market and sell is something that you truly believe in the core of your being, that is the right fit solution for whatever problems you're solving. The next biggest aha moment I had was that selling is not actually a credit card transaction. Selling is not actually standing behind a counter and running that credit card. Selling is not that. Selling is actually creating an environment where that faith can be transferred from you to the customer, where you can transfer that faith, that belief that you have that your product, your solution is the right fit for whatever problems that your customer is having. That is what a sales is. It's actually an environment where that belief can be transferred. And that to me was an amazing aha moment, because when you start to focus on creating an environment as opposed to selling your products, sales actually happen as a byproduct of that conversation. And that is the third, in a way, a third aha that I had. Like once you create that environment of where the beliefs and the faiths can be transferred, You can actually map out a process in that environment through your conversation. You would understand where your customer is at in the process, in their buying journey, in the process, whether they're still in the awareness phase that they have a problem, whether they've gauged interest in what you have to offer, or whether they truly desire your product. So you will know, and you can frame your conversations based on the signals you're getting from your customers in regards to how you can move forward and convert that conversation or lead that conversation into a sale seamlessly without having to say, buy this, buy this. Now let's talk about the love selling process. And actually it is very simple. The process is talking about listening. Listen to what problems your right fit clients, your most valuable customers have. That's all you need. In order to validate this idea, you need to listen. Who has the problems that you have a solution to? What are they saying? What are they saying? Capture it in their own language. Do not assume. You need to capture it in their own language. Now, the thing is, once you know what they need, whatever solution or problem you have, you can create a wrapping paper around it and offer it to them as a solution to the problem they said they have, not you assumed they had. But you need to have complete certainty that this product or this offer is going to solve that problem that they have. So once you package it as a solution to the problem that they have, they are very receptive to actually trying out that offer because they have shared with you, this is the problem that they have, this is the problem they're trying to solve. And if you have a solution, they're up for it. Now, the other thing is that you want to validate your offer, your unique approach, right? So once you do offer them the offer, you want to stay on top of it that, you know, this offer actually worked for them. So after the launch, you have to make sure that you're validating that the product that you gave them is actually serving its purpose. If it is, and you might have a few iterations back and forth, listen, offer, validate, did it work? Yes, great. Did it not work? Okay, let me figure out if there's a different offer for them. Now, through this process, you will either eliminate some things or you'll evolve and escalate things that are going better. And then once you've done that, you can just rinse and repeat the process. Keep listening, keep offering solutions to them, keep validating those solutions and making decisions based on your validations. Now, you do have a dashboard activity in regards to your MVP ideas and the love method. I did talk about it a little bit before, but on the dashboard, you have some MVP ideas, minimum viable products that you're going to take to the market and test it. And you have the love method, how you're going to listen, how you're going to offer, how you're going to validate and evolve your products based on the love process. So if you want to, if you don't have the workbook or if you want to do the online dashboard activity, both of those could be reached at smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard. So marketing. Now, I did say marketing is the customer acquisition and nurturing process. I do realize that most people start marketing with lead generation. It's like, oh, you want to market? Let's start with lead generation. And actually, that's a step better because it oftentimes used to start with, oh, you want to market? Let's start with direct to sale ad. Well, direct to sale ad is never a good idea. So I say that we have now evolved and we go lead gen, nurture them for a little bit to a sale, right? So I feel like that's a little bit still backwards. Where we actually need to start with marketing is a plan. And I call my plan a profit plan. A profit plan is 20% of the business plan that actually produces 80% of the rules. Guys, if you've heard of the 80-20 principle, apply it in your marketing. Apply it in your marketing so you can do 20% of the work to get 80% of the results. Why this profit plan works? Because it's not anything like any other traditional plans, which are like hundreds of pages and they have graphs and they have projections and they all get filed
When I first started a
they all get filed in a filing cabinet, and they are just hidden and they're collecting dust and nobody ever looks at them, right? So that's not the goal. But with this one page profit plan, I have made it such that it's very easy, it's actionable, it's a blueprint, it's actually a living, breathing document that you could work on every day. I want you to have it as a picture on your phone. You can make it the screensaver. It's something that is going to be functional at all times for you. Now, the idea behind it is to find success, to find marketing messages that are successful, to find leverage in your business, and then absolutely do more of the tasks that gives you more of the results so you can maximize profits. So your goal is to do less and make more. And that's only possible when you have a leverage. If you understand the concept of leverage, it means doing less to achieve more buying power. It means spending $10 to get something that's worth $1,000. So if you do stocks, it's like getting those options getting in where your $100 can be in play for 1,000, sometimes even $10,000. So you want to find that leverage in your marketing efforts. What is the one thing I can do which can maximize my results? So always be looking for leverage points. This marketing plan that we're going to walk through today is actually something that can exponentially grow your results if you get just even 10% better at it, just 10% better at your marketing. So if that 10% getting better at marketing can give you actually 2x, 10x, sometimes even 100x your results. So it's not something that you should take lightly. It's something that should be on the forefront of your business if you're a legitimate business. Now take the 30 minutes and build this strategic, live, actionable one-page profit plan with me. So the idea is that we are going to step in with strategy first approach. We're going to look at the big picture, just like building a house. You know, we get a lot. There's not a house on there yet, but we have a plan. We have the blueprint for what kind of a house it's going to look like. Oftentimes, many times, like even big companies would put together even a 3D model of what this house is going to look like for them, right? So just like that, we want to have a strategic plan for our own business. And we have to be very, very careful that we are not too much into tactics that our business is paralyzed. What I mean is, like, you are just going after doing the things, the daily routine things, but they're not actually progressing your business. And if it is in that mode, then you have to take some of those routine things out if they're not really moving your business forward, right? And also, you have to know that sometimes you're not stuck in the routine things, but you're stuck in a different kind of a zone where you are going after one strategy one day or one week, and another strategy at another day and another week. One thought leader came about and you really resonated with their strategy and you went in with that, but then a little while later you found some another thought leader and you went after their strategy. So you have to be careful. Like, you know, you can't just keep changing things. You can't just keep doing things because you do them every day and this is how it's done. You have to evaluate things and strategies based on what works. So pick a strategy, stick with it, do all the tactics with it, evaluate it, and then change to the next strategy if you want to. So this one-page marketing plan we're here, it's very strategic, it's very tactical, so it'll give you all the tactics that you need. But the main thing is it's very actionable and it's personalized. That's the most important thing I find, that it's very actionable and it's personalized. And guess what? It's one page. Now, there are 3 sections in the plan, and all these 3 sections are actually links your customer journey to your marketing efforts. So if your customer is here in the journey, what marketing efforts do you need to make? If the customer is here in the journey, what marketing efforts do you need to make? Customer is here, what marketing efforts do you need to make? So it basically links your customer journey to your marketing efforts. It's like a 3-act play, if you will. What is your customer doing before they enter your world, before they really come into your world? And what can you do when they enter your world, when they know about you, they've interacted with you, to bring them further in, to draw them in, to nurture them till the sale happens? And then the 3rd act is what you do after a sale happens. So you can actually keep them and make them a lifetime customer than a one-off transaction. Now, phase 1 is basically where they get to know you. The customers get to know you. So how they get to know you, you have to put yourself out there for them to find you. So in order to put yourself out there, you need to define your market. You need to define the messages that you're going to use to go to the market. And you're going to define the media that you're going to use to get out to the market. I mean, the media is endless. One of the things I want to emphasize here is that we did talk about the market a little bit in the last 2 days, and as well as messaging. Because with market, we talked about we are leading into the market with our beliefs. So we are going after the target market, which shares our beliefs. We are going to the target market that shares our hobbies. We're going after the target market that shares our core values. We're going after, so we're leading in with our why, with our beliefs. Doesn't have to be these 3 that I mentioned, but your big vision, your big picture, what draws you, what would you work for even if you didn't get paid, right? That kind of belief, that kind of solid thing in your mind. So that's what you're going to lead into the market with, and what you sell is going to come later on. Your messages, we talked a lot about in the last days about having crafted your messages, and especially dividing them into your emotion, with your heart, your emotion, your feelings, with your logic, with your brain, and then also putting in some messaging that builds your credibility, that you are the go-to person in this area, right? And then media is endless. I mean, media never goes away, it just keeps getting added. The old-fashioned radio is now back in business with new actionable listen on demand 10-minute podcasts. So media is never going away. And old-fashioned radio, by the way, is still there. It didn't go away. You still get junk mail every now and then. So media never goes away. Media just keeps getting added. My goal for you today would be to pick out and write. If you do not have this one-page document, one-page marketing plan, you can go to smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard and get it. But what I want you to do is write down 2 beliefs that you're going to lead the market with. Which market and what beliefs you're going to lead it with. Create and craft your messaging, 3 messages per belief. And with messaging, it's very simple. 1 leading with the heart, 1 leading with the head, 1 leading with authority. And then put it out in 3 media places. So 3 media outlets. It could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, it could be YouTube, it could be Instagram, it could be a website, it could be a blog. You pick your market, your messaging, and you pick your media. And if you're watching this and if you've actually done this exercise, I'd like to know which media outlet you've picked, what is your target market. Do share. We'd like to know. So yes, we are going to do this working session in the dashboard. So take some time and review that and do that. If you want to take some, pause this video and do it now, or if you want to do it later, that's fine. But I would encourage you to go to the dashboard and do this working activity. Now, after you've brought people into your world using the market, the message, and the media, the second phase is the like and trust factor. The like factor, which is almost like, in the know phase, it's almost like you get to know someone. In the like phase, it's more like dating. Like, you're not, you're gonna kind of get to know them a little bit. And in your customer serving world, it's more like Welcome them into your community. Serve on them, serve on them, serve on them till you sell to them. Serve so much that they themselves ask for a sale. This now is where lead generation should be, not like it's the first step that we were talking about. That's how things are going wrong because most people start with lead generation. But this is now you're ready for lead generation because you understand your market, you understand your message, and you narrow down and filter down the media you're going to use. Something really interesting and unique about lead gen is that, well, first of all, I have to say lead gen has come really far. We're doing really well in this space right now. It used to be that lead gen was basically going direct to sale. And that concept has changed quite a bit. And I'm so glad and delighted that it did. Because if you look at this chart right here, at any given time, only 3% of your market is ready to buy from you. Only 3%. 7% is probably very open to buy, but they're not ready to buy. And 30% is interested, not interested now, but they will be in future, right? And then there's 30% that are never going to be buying from you and 30% that are not interested. So what happens is if you were going to do direct to sale ad, you're only capturing the 3% of the market. But if you do a lead gen to a freebie and offer a value add piece of content, then all of a sudden you move yourself to a 40% window because you are getting 3% that are ready to buy, the 7% that are very open to buy, and the 30% who are not interested now, but they will be in future. So all of a sudden you have this shift from 30%, 3% to 40%, which is a huge number. Now in phase two, our goal is for customers to get interested in us, to want what we have to offer, to really desire our products and services. In this phase is where the first sale is made. So generally, until you have your first sale or until a customer has bought from you, they stay in that phase and then they move to the next phase. So a customer can stay in phase two for a long time, or they can move from one to a sale phase. But ideally, they would stay there till the first sale happens. In this phase, your goal is to keep them nurtured, keep them interested, offer them free value adds like videos, interviews, tips, give them some quick wins that they really adore and admire. Oftentimes I ask, how do I nurture? How do I nurture? If you can figure out 10 tips you can provide to your people that you serve. If you serve in any area, if you're a car salesman, 10 tips to buy a used car, or 10 tips to buy a new car, 10 reasons why you should buy XYZ car. You can come up with 10 things that you can nurture or give value to your customers, and then reach out to them, contact them in by putting those tips, those value adds in front of them at all time. And of course, you want to be human, so you can embed a little bit of just generic conversation, how you're doing, how things are going in between. But the idea is that you stay in touch, you give value, you do not sell. You do not sell. Your goal here is to build a relationship with them, to keep building a relationship with them. Well, if you've done 10 tips by 11, and then you've put in some, general human touch contact information, before you know it, you've had 17 touches, and that's when your customer may be ready to buy from you. In phase two, what is also very important is positioning. And I wanted to point out there was this experiment done. I think I had the exact stats. Yes. So there was this experiment done. It was a famous Grammy winning violinist. His name is Joshua Bell. He did, he's a Grammy Award winner. He earns $1,000 a minute. The piano or the violin that he owns is $14 million. I mean, it's that expensive. And he has played in the most amazing concert halls in the country. He's a very well-known, sought-after musician. You know, it's just amazing. So there was this experiment done in 2007. He actually played at a metro station in Washington. He put on a baseball hat instead of playing at this huge grand orchestra hall. He's playing at this, you know, Washington metro station. Now people are coming by and passing by, and they just kept ignoring him, ignoring him, ignoring him. So in the experiment, guess how much money did he make? A guy who made $1,000 a minute actually just played there for the whole hour and made only $52.17. Out of that, $20 was given by one person who actually did recognize him. So the actual stats were that 1,097 people stopped by, 27 people gave him the money, so that $52.17 came from 27 people. 7 people actually stopped and listened to him. So out of 1,097, only 7 people stopped and listened to him. Isn't that amazing? Like playing in a metro station, you can be the Grammy Award winner, but if you're playing at the metro station, you may not get the attention that you deserve. So I want you to think through that in your own business. How do you position yourself so you're not positioned and as a metro station, but you're positioned as this grandeur orchestra hall where you're playing. So keep that in mind. You can build your position and credibility in various ways, especially on social media. This is my biggest pet peeve. I see people, you know, have a profile on social media, no workplace, no this, no that, just a name, and then they want to do a $10,000 transaction. It doesn't work that way. Like if you really have to work things out, you have to go, you know, set things up right. So that's very, very important for you. So set up that positioning, set yourself as the grandeur orchestra hall. Again, I want to mention there is a dashboard activity that you can either download your workbook and do, or you are more than welcome to do it online. You can go to smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard. You can download the workbook from there, or you can do the exercise online. The idea I want you to work on, especially because this middle layer is, yes, definitely an important layer, because this is where your customer acquisition process lies. So what I want you to do is I want you to think through some free gift ideas that you can do, that you can use to get customers into your world. Two things that I want you to think through while giving free gift ideas is, one, it is not another PDF. It is not another ebook. It's not, I wrote my book, it's available for you, but it's what can it do for you? Can it solve time? Can it save time? Can it get you money? Can it fix a problem you have? Think through it in those terms and use those as the naming and other things as well. Now, the other thing I want you to think about in this process is think through whatever problems you solve, think through what problems exist before the problem you solve and try to solve that problem. Once you solve that problem with your freebie, then they're ready to enter your world with the problem you solve. So think a step before, think a pre-step to them entering your world. I want you to think through some nurturing ideas. How can you nurture them? Like we talked about, maybe 10 tips, maybe 10 value add posts, engagement posts in between, some funny tips, some behind the scenes, something else in between to formulate a nurturing sequence with them. And then figure out where in this process can you automate. If you have 10 tips, can someone subscribe to my top 10 tips to do XYZ, and they get a drip sequence of it, 1 tip a day, 1 tip a week, however you want to position that. So think through that could be a possibility. Now, phase 3 is when, of course, they've become your customer. Now, in this phase is where the commitment and the trust factor and the loyalty factor comes into play. Now, here, what you want to do is you want to turn these customers into your lifetime buyers. They need to be a part of you. They need to be a part of your family. They are your advocates. They are the ones who are going to bring referrals to you. So they need to be in your life, and they basically should trust you and have a loyalty factor here. How can you get that? By offering, of course, world-class service. Know your numbers. Know that you need to make sure that whatever others are doing, you're doing bigger and better. Always have a customer first approach. Your insiders should always pay less for your products than the outsiders. Have some loyalty programs, have some features and benefits that are available just for them, because they're your MVCs, most valuable customers, and ask for referrals from them. And they'll gladly do that if you've really served them well. Now, once again, if you are on the dashboard, you can download the workbook and write on it and finish this exercise, or you can do it on the dashboard itself, smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard. So out there's a profit plan. You need to figure out your no, which is your intro messaging, your like, which is your lead generation, and how you can gain trust factors. Now let's talk a little bit about finding leads. I want to spend a little more time on the lead gen side of it. Now there are multiple ways actually, to find leads. And the first way I say is start with studying competition, because you don't want to start from scratch. You want to start from someone who's actually doing it and model some of what they're doing. You can study competition's ads, their website, their social media, and see what kind of messaging are they using. In the messaging, of course, you're studying their emotion, the head and the heart and the credibility of the positioning they're using. So make sure you are reviewing some of their ads. Now, I did want to mention that there is a shortcut. So I wanted to mention that if you're reviewing the ads, you can review the ads from either someone's page or from the ads library. Now, if you go to someone's page, you can actually go to the page and click on page transparency. And once you click on page transparency, you're able to see all the ads that that person is running. As I've shown here, this person started running these ads this is a client of mine, Renee. She started running her ads in April. And if you are looking for some big celebrities, like this one here is Dean Graziosi, that's one of the thought leaders that I follow. You can see he has 1.5 million followers, and as of April 2021, he is running 83 ads. Now, if you're serving the similar market, you can go in and study some of their messaging to figure out what kind of messages are they going to the market with. I picked another thought leader, Tony Robbins. As you can see, 4.2 million followers or 5.7 million followers. It's running 270 ads at this point. Again, what you're going and looking for is the videos, the copy that they're using, who is the target market, what is the message they're leading the market with. Now, if you don't want to use ads and don't want to use, like you can study ads even if you're not going to run ads of your own, because you can get some messaging and some ideas for your own posts. But you can actually start an organic process to get in front of your customers and finding leads by doing what I give you a 21-day post plan. So what you do is you follow a structure. It's a structure that moves people. Now, this 21-day content plan is actually a plan to increase your following, to increase your visibility, to get speaking gigs, to establish yourself as a leader, and to get clients. So definitely it has served many purposes. So do show up on social media. Once you show up on social media, you can actually repurpose and reuse that content. You can reuse it for a blog or a website. You can put it on YouTube, you can put it on podcast, you can utilize it on your social media, and you can generate emails from it. Now, the idea is with this 21-day posts, you have 5 goals. Your posts are going to be in these 5 elements. They're going to be posts, the get to know you posts, how people will know about you, what do you want them to know about you. There's going to be value posts, what value, tips, tricks can you offer to your world. And there's going to be engagement and interaction posts, which are just regular. Hey, I'm a night owl. Are you a morning person or a night person? You can ask, this is my favorite business book to read. What is yours? And then, of course, there's that like and trust factor posts where you can put some work that you're doing, how hardworking you are behind the scenes. You can talk about some great testimonials, some amazing results your clients are getting, and of course, add a call to action. The idea behind this post is to warm up your audience before you really ask for something big. So generally I say if it is 21 days, then, have at least 5 posts in each, because then you have 20 posts, 5 get to know me posts, 5 value posts, 5 engage and interaction posts, 5 testimonials, some client, achievements, and then ask for one call to action. Once you've done these posts, you are going to find the winners, find the ones that resonated most with your customers, generated the most interest. Those are the posts that you can use for lead generation. Those are the posts you can set your ad dollars behind. You can set some automation behind those posts and actually start getting interest from people on a really ongoing basis, right? So I want you to get on the dashboard and figure out, think through some of your know me posts. And you don't have to write the whole post, but you can figure it out, just the gist and the highlights of what you want people to know about you, how you want to show up in the market, what value post do you want to do, what engagement and interaction post you want to do, if you have any testimonials, and what kind of call to actions are you going to have. For my VIPs, I'll see you in the VIP session so we can actually do some of this work by ourselves. For others, you're still welcome to unlock the VIP. You can go to the dashboard, smallbusinesshub.org/dashboard, and click on I want to upgrade to an VIP and meet us in the background. Now, before I really end today, I wanted to say that, I've stated this belief over and over again, that I truly believe a small business has huge potential to make big profits, and they can do so through knowledge, through automation, through mentoring and mingling with other entrepreneurs like them. So we can all uplift each other. We can all be there for each other. Through knowledge, automation, and mentoring, anything is possible. A small business can achieve big results. And I totally believe that you can do that too. And I totally believe that you truly, truly deserve to generate big results. So what are you waiting for? You got this. Start today. Start now. And I'll see you on another challenge